we have discussed about the load line technique for the analysis of a diode circuit. Basically, this load line technique is used if my input voltage is very small. And in that case, we have considered the input voltage given to the diode is a kind of a DC voltage. This DC voltage is there. And when we apply the DC voltage, then we want to find out how much current is going to be flow in this circuit, or what is the output voltage across the RL, or what is the voltage across the diode VD. So for the analysis of this circuit, we have to consider a characteristic curve that is known as a static characteristic curve. That is the I versus the diode voltage VD. And on the static characteristic curve, you have to draw a load line, and this load line will give you the information about the current, diode voltage VD, and the voltage across the load VO. If you remember, that here, if we apply the Kirchhoff's law, then we can write that this voltage V is equal to, we can write VD plus I into RL. And from this, we can write that the I is equal to minus 1 upon RL into VD plus V by RL. This is known as a load line equation. And why it is known as a load line equation? Because this expression is like a y is equal to nx plus c. And this expression is for the line. So here if we compare, then the n is representing the slope. So minus 1 upon RL is representing the slope of the line, that is n. And the intercept of the line is nothing but V by RL. Now using this expression, we can draw a line on the static characteristic curve. So here in this expression, you put the x parameter 0 and find out the y. Then you put the y parameter 0 and find out the x. So you will get the 2 points. So one of the points on the x-axis, you will get this coordinate as a V and 0. And on the y-axis, you will get the coordinate that is a 0 and V by RL. Correct? So here the V and 0, this is the V and 0 will be there. Somewhere here we have a V and 0, and somewhere here we have a 0 and V by RL. Now if we join both the points, then you will get a load line. So here what is important? Important is the whatever the intersection point is there, this intersection point is known as a operating point Q. Operating point Q. And the coordinate of this operating point here, this will give you what is the voltage across the diode, and this will give you how much current is flowing in the circuit. How much current is flowing in the circuit. So in this way, you can draw a line and find out the current, voltage across the diode. And not only that, here if you find out this, then this will give you what is the voltage across a load resistance RL. Correct? So here the load line technique is very useful whenever the device has a non-linear characteristics. But now instead of a DC voltage, if we applied a AC voltage, then how to find out the value of the current? Here the DC voltage has only one value, while in the AC, this input voltage is continuously changing. It means the current in the diode circuit is also continuously changing. Then, how to find out the value of the current in the circuit? So, let us see a load line technique for the AC input voltage. Here you can see that we have applied a AC voltage. Now remember, this AC voltage is like this. This Vi and the time t is there. Now you can see this input voltage is continuously changing with the time t. At the time t1, we have the voltage here. We have voltage Vi1. At the time t2, the voltage is Vi2. At the time t3, the voltage is Vi3. Now, whenever for this different voltage, I want to find out a current. Then I have to draw a load line. Remember, I have to draw a load line. So, how we can draw the load line? So, that whatever the technique we have discussed for the DC voltage, the same way you can draw this line. So, here what we can do? That for the voltage Vi1, remember, my input voltage, suppose I want to find out the current for Vi1. Then, for the Vi1, I have to draw a load line. And for that, I have to find out what are the coordinates. So, here, the x coordinate for this Vi1, x coordinates will be a Vi and 0, Vi1 and 0, and the y coordinates will be 0 and Vi1 by Rf. Correct? And you can draw this line like this. So this is the line for a Vi1. Correct? And what will be the current? So the current you can find out from this. So that is the current I1. Correct? Because this is my operating point. Q is there. Now remember. Now suppose here in AC voltage it is continuously increasing. Suppose I want to find out a current when my input voltage is a Vi2. This much voltage is there. This much voltage, that is the Vi2 is there. So again I have to draw a line. Remember. So for this Vi2, I will plot this curve Vi2 and 0, and the y coordinate will be 0, Vi2 by RL. So this load line will be like this. This is for a Vi2. And here we have a operating point. Q is there, and you will get this current I2. So now what will happen? That in the AC input voltage, the voltage is not constant. It is continuously go on changing. So here, suppose here I want to find out for the current for the Vi3. Then I have to draw a line this, and then I can calculate what is the value of this current I3. Right? So here from this 0 to a maximum voltage Vn, we can have a large number of points will be there. And as a result, here if we draw a line, then there will be a large number of the load lines will be there. Every time, for whatever the voltage you want to find out the current, for that value you have to draw a load line, and then you have to find out what is the current. So this technique is a laborious technique, because you can have a infinite number of the lines will be there. So every time whenever the current, whenever the input voltage is changing, I have to draw a line. So the large number of the lines will be there and it is a laborious. So here, instead of this characteristic curve, remember this characteristic curve is a static curve. It is a static curve. So instead of the static curve, if I will draw a dynamic curve, for this a diode, then I will get, what is a dynamic curve? Dynamic curve is a curve for a current I against the input voltage. Remember, here I will explain you what is the difference between the static curve and the dynamic curve. So whatever the problems we have, the solution for this problem is that if you use a dynamic curve, then directly you will get the amount of the current flowing in the circuit for a different input voltage. Correct? So here remember the static curve. What is a static curve? Static curve is a current I against the voltage across the diode. Here on the x-axis we have Vd and the y-axis I is there. So that will give you the relation between the current and the voltage across the diode. And what is the dynamic curve? What is the dynamic curve? Dynamic curve is a current I against the input voltage Vi. So here whatever the current is flowing, that if we plot the curve I against the input voltage, then that is known as the dynamic curve. And this dynamic curve will give you the solution of your a circuit. Means for any input voltage, directly you can find out what is the value of the current. Now the thing is that how to draw a dynamic curve. Here directly you can perform the experiment that you apply a different input voltage to the diode and measure the current. Then you plot the curve, so it will give you the dynamic characteristic curve. But here we will draw a dynamic characteristic curve using a static curve. So from the static curve we will draw a dynamic curve. Let us see how we can draw this. So what we can do, when any AC input voltage this is my input voltage Vi is there. In AC input voltage, we will consider any two input voltage. This is the instantaneous input voltage. Consider any two input voltage. Let us say this input voltage is Vi1 and another input voltage is Vi2. So we have two different voltage, and for these two different voltage you draw a load line. Correct? So for this Vi1, just we have discussed that the x point will be a Vi1 and 0. Y coordinate will be 0 and Vi1 by Rf. Correct? So here, somewhere here, we have this value that is the Vi1. And somewhere here, we have this value Vi1 by Rn. Vi1 by Rn. And if we join this point, that will give you the load line. So draw this line. Draw this line for any one of the input voltage, that is a VI1. Now again we take another value. Let us say my another value is VI2, and for this VI2, x coordinate will be VI2 and 0, y coordinate will be 0 and VI2 by I. Correct? So here let us have a VI2, and where will be this? This will be here, that is a VI2 by Rn. And then we join this line. So we have two different load line or two different input voltage. Okay. Now you can see that this first load line is intersecting at this point. Let us say it is a point A. This intersection point is A. Another load line is intersecting to the static characteristic of this is point B. Okay. Now what we have to do? Remember that you draw a line. Remember, consider the point A. Draw a line passing through the point A and parallel to the x-axis. Here, the parallel to the x-axis and passing through this point A in this way. Then draw another line passing through this input voltage VI1 parallel to the y-axis. So that line will be like this. Again I repeat, draw one of the line parallel to the x-axis and passing through this intersection point A. Draw another line parallel to the y-axis and passing through this point VI1. So here remember, again you will get another intersection point, and this intersection point we call this A gas. This is A gas. So what is indicate? A dash is indicating what? A dash is indicating that when my input voltage is VI1, at that time I1 current is flowing in the circuit. I1 current is flowing in the circuit. So here the coordinates of the point A dash. The coordinates are VI1 and I1. Okay. Now come to the next load line. In the next load line, the same way, you draw a line parallel to the y-axis passing through this VI2. Passing through this VI2, so that line will be like this. Another line which is passing through this point B but parallel to the x-axis will be this. So my intersection point will be here. And this point is B dash. B dash is representing what? B dash is representing that when my input voltage is VI2, at that time I2 current is flowing. This I2 current is flowing. Correct? Now, to draw any type of the curve, remember, we require minimum 3 points. And if we join this point, that will give you the curve. Here already we got two different points, A dash, B dash of this curve. And the third point is naturally a origin, because when my input voltage is 0, the current is also a 0. It is a third point of my curve. And now, if you join all this point, that will give you a dynamic curve or the dynamic characteristic curve of a diode. So remember, this is a dynamic curve and this is a static curve. Why it is a dynamic curve? Remember, now for the dynamic curve, now this axis is not a VD. This axis is replaced with the VI. Because here we have different input voltage and the coordinates are VI1, these are the VI2. So now the x-axis, that x-axis is not representing the diode voltage VD, but it is representing VI. And the y-axis is I as it is. So dynamic curve is a current I against the input voltage Vi. When you are talking about the static curve, then it is a current I against the diode voltage Vd. Correct? So once you have a dynamic curve, now for any input voltage, you can find out the current. Suppose my input voltage is a Vi3. Correct? How much current is flowing in the circuit? Now again, I don't have to draw a line. I don't have to draw a load line. But somewhere here, my input voltage is Vi3. Just I can draw a line and find out how much current is flowing. So that is the current I3. So for this Vi3, this much current is flowing. Directly you will get the information. So now input voltage is, let us say, this much. So for that you can draw a line from this point here, and correspondingly you can find out the value of current. This is the VIS. And so once you have a dynamic curve, then for any input voltage, remember, from 0 to Vi3, for any input voltage, you just find out the intersection point on the curve and you will get the information about the current flowing in the circuit. That is the advantage of using a dynamic curve. Now remember, this dynamic curve will be a different for the different value of RL. Because here whatever the points we are finding, in that point the RL is present, RL is also a present. So this dynamic curve, it depends on a particular value of RL. So suppose my RL, here it is a 1 kilo ohm, then I have to write dynamic curve RL for a RL is equal to a 1 kilo. Now if you draw, suppose if my RL instead of 1 kilo, if it is a 100 ohm, then you will get the dynamic curve like this. this will be for a RL is equal to 100 ohm. Why? Because the resistance is less, so the current will be more, and therefore the dynamic curve will be shifted in upward direction. If the RL will increase, then your dynamic curve will be shifted down. Here you can say this is for RL is equal to a 2 kilo. So static curve is independent of RL because it is representing the characteristics of diode. But the dynamic curve depends on the value of RL. So in this way, by plotting a dynamic curve, you can find out how much current is flowing in the diode circuit. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the rectifier circuit.